USPS has begun rolling out new mail trucks to rave reviews from carriers. The new trucks include AC for the first time.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
We will jump right into Last Week in Southern Labor, a segment where we check out what workers in the United States South and the American colonies were up to in the last week. This time, here's what workers in the U.S. South and the colonies were up to from September 6th to the 13th. In new union campaigns, 1,447 workers across 13 bargaining units are in new union elections. 3 workers at CAE USA Incorporated in Meridian, Mississippi, filed a petition to hold a union election with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, IAMAW. 12 workers at Science Applications International Corporation, SAIC, in Dallas, Texas, filed a petition to hold a union election with the IAMAW. 14 workers at Starbucks in Alpharetta, Georgia, filed a petition to hold a union election with Starbucks Workers United, as did 23 more Starbucks workers in Nashville, Tennessee. 9 workers at Carrere in LaPorte, Texas, filed a petition to hold a union election with the International Chemical Workers Union Council, affiliated with the UFCW. 24 workers at Texair Company in McAllen, Texas, filed a petition to hold a union election with the United Association of Plumbers and Pipefitters, UA, Local 211. 7 workers at Wells Fargo in Anniston, Alabama, filed a petition to hold a union election with Wells Fargo Workers United, CWA. Very exciting. The employer filed a petition to hold a union election after a majority of the 197 workers at AD USA Transportation in Dunn, North Carolina, demonstrated support for unionization with the Teamsters, Local 391. 9 security guards at Hanna Technologies and Systems in Washington, D.C. filed a petition to hold a union election with the Federal Contract Guards of America, FCGOA. And as listeners of the program will know, there are different labor regimes in different sectors of the economy and parts of the country. One of those sectors with different labor regimes is the public sector, and it is extremely difficult to find all the data for public sector organizing in the South. Fortunately for us, though, at least in Florida, friend of the show, McKenna Schuler, has begun a newsletter similar to ours, but just for Florida, and she always includes all of the public sector organizing updates that she gets from the Florida public sector equivalent of the National Labor Relations Board. She releases these updates monthly, so we are going to begin incorporating those new elections and campaigns into our newsletter when they come out, with her permission, obviously. But there's still a lot of other stuff in our newsletter that is worth reading, including more detail and reporting on these individual campaigns. So make sure that you subscribe to our newsletter after you hear the latest updates from Florida public sector organizing from us. You can do that at caringclassrevolt.com. caringclassrevolt.com by McKenna Schuler. 680 workers at the City of Clearwater in Clearwater, Florida, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Communication Workers of America, CWA, after having recently been decertified. 289 workers at the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind filed a petition to hold a union election with the Independent Association of Public and Private Employees, IAPPE. 106 workers at the City of Pensacola in Pensacola, Florida, filed a petition to hold a union election with IAPPE. 74 workers at the University of West Florida in Ferry Pass, Florida, filed a petition to hold a union election with IAPPE. 3 petitions to hold union elections with the Fraternal Order of Police, 2 of those petitions, and the Florida Police Benevolent Association, 1 of those petitions, among cops in St. Johns County and at the University of Central Florida, respectively, were dismissed because both unions had out-of-date registration documents. A petition by the FOP to raid a unit of city workers at the City of West Palm Beach in West Palm Beach, Florida, currently represented by the Service Employees International Union, SEIU, was rejected because of the out-of-date registration, and also because the SEIU's contract with the city is not about to expire. 3 workers at the Bay Shore Fire Protection and Rescue Service District filed a petition to hold a union election with the Southwest Florida Professional Firefighters and Paramedics, Local 1826, affiliated with IAPPE.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
In election results, 81 workers across 6 bargaining units are newly unionized, and 248 workers in 3 units voted against unionizing, and 53 workers in 1 public sector unit in Florida voted to maintain their union. 2 workers at Keolis Transit Services in Leesburg, Virginia voted 1-0 in favor of unionization with the Amalgamated Transit Union, ATU, Local 689. 34 workers at Wood County Electric Cooperative in Quitman, Texas voted 34-0 in favor of unionization with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW, Local 738. 196 workers at Walsh and Albert Company in Houston, Texas voted 49-109 against unionization with the United Steelworkers, USW, Local 54. 53 workers at Lafayette County Public Schools in Lafayette, Florida voted 20-0 in favor of maintaining their union. 2 workers at the Newport Richey Fire Department voted 2-0 in favor of unionization with the Clearwater Firefighters Association, Local 1158, affiliated with IAFF. South Daytona City employees, not just cops, voted 15-14 against unionization with the International Union of Police Associations, IUPA. Cops at the City of Daytona Shores voted 0-23 against unionization with the IUPA. Makes you wonder how how many people they had sign that petition. Firefighters at the Indian River County Fire Department voted 6-2 in favor of unionization with the Indian River County Firefighter/Paramedic Association, affiliated with the IAFF. Cops for the Pensacola State College voted 3-0 in favor of unionization with the Florida Police Benevolent Association, FPBA. And 32 workers at the town of Bay Harbor Islands in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida voted 81% in favor of unionization with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, Local 966. In settlements, grievances, and unfair labor practices, as the fight between the UAW and Stellantis over investment, specifically reopening the Belvidere, Illinois plant, heats up, Stellantis dealers have weighed in sort of on the side of the UAW, with the dealers claiming that CEO Carlos Tavares is responsible for a, quote, rapid degradation of the brands because of, quote, short-term decision-making. The SPLC union conducted a vote of no confidence in the CEO of the organization, with 92% of the union voting no confidence in the leadership of CEO Margaret Wong. In strikes and bargaining updates, with 95% turnout and 87% support, American Airlines flight attendants, unionized with the Association of Professional Flight Attendants, APFA, voted to ratify a new 5-year contract with the company that includes a 20% raise, among other benefits that the union claims adds $4.2 billion in value to the contract. The American Postal Workers Union put out a bargaining update on Twitter last week, laying out some of the union's 80 proposals to management, which include bridging the tiered employment structure, improving safety, and management's 11 proposals to the union. You can also go back and listen to the National President Dimenstein's recent appearance on the Valley Labor Report for other topics of discussion around the negotiations. The Teamsters responded to a recent statement by Costco as they continue national negotiations, claiming that the company is misleading its employees about the state of negotiations and the position of the Teamsters. The Bird Union, CWA Local 1180, representing workers at environmental conservation group the National Audubon Society, ratified a new contract ahead of a strike deadline. As the CWA continues its strike against AT&T in the South, they are now threatening a strike against the company in the West as well, after members voted down a tentative agreement in that region. Verizon has gone public with its interest in purchasing Frontier. CWA, which represents workers at both companies, issued a statement saying that they are, quote, watching closely, but notably not opposing the deal outright. CWA has a history of supporting mergers when they believe that they can secure concessions from the company for their support. In political and legislative updates, USPS has begun rolling out new mail trucks to rave reviews from carriers. The new trucks include AC for the first time. That's it for our union and labor updates. If we missed anything, send us a note at tvlr.fm/contact and we'll include it in the next round of updates.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.